Okay, good morning students. So in this lecture we will discuss our next topic, that is power management. Okay, so first of all, it is required to understand why we read this topic, power management, because all the circuit in present scenario that we used required a adaptable power. It means that we need a power that is minimized or maximized according to requirement of circuit. Okay, so if the power of the circuit, if the requirement of the circuit, uh, if the power requirement of the circuit is increases or decreasement. Okay, this power management is a basic technique that is used to design a low power circuits. Okay, a good low power system should be able to consume less power when throughput requirements are low. Okay, it means that if the circuit is not in use, or we can say if the throughput of the circuit is low, so at that time the power requirement of the circuit should be low. Okay, and if we required a higher throughput from the circuit, so at that time the higher power is required. So if the circuit is capable to adjust its power, so it is known as power management. Okay, so this adjustable technique is typically applied in the architecture level. Okay, so this adjusting power technique is applied where? In the architecture level. When we design the architecture of circuit, at that time this power management adjustment is required there. Okay, so in past the designer not focus on this power management, but now this power management is a very important side of design. Okay, so various power management modes are used in present scenario, in present circuits. Out of them, some are: suppose we are using a microprocessor. Okay, so in microprocessor various modes are given. These modes are responsible for power management. Okay, the main use of power management is to deactivate some unit when no computation is required. Okay, for example the clock supply can be disabled if it is not in use, and when it is required, then automatically the power management circuit activates the clock supply. This can be done in different level of design. It can be subsystem, it can be module, it can be buses, it can be functional unit, etc. These are the advantages of power management. But if the power management occur in the circuit, so for this power management some extra circuit is also required. So this one is we can say this one is some drawback of this power management, that we need some extra circuit for the purpose of power management. Okay, so processor in advanced processor design, the power and performance management can be achieved in the hardware logic. Okay, it means that we can use some hardware to restrict the power, we can to manage the power, or we can say we can use some application software to manage this power consumption. Okay, so this technique is effective. This technique is effective when the processor is running at very full speed. Okay, uh, we can use some other circuit also. We can use some other technique also, in which we can use some application software for this power management purpose. Here one processor is given, in which power management circuit is used. We are taking an example of Motorola. In Motorola, one processor is given, that is Power PC603. Power PC603. This one is the name of the processor that is used in Motorola. In this processor, the power management circuit is used, and because of this power management circuit, because of this power management technique, this processor work on three different modes. Okay, these modes are DOS mode, nap mode, and sleep mode. Okay, these are the three modes in which this processor circuitry works. Okay, now in DOS mode, most functional units are stopped. When the processor is in DOS mode, then most of the functional units are stopped except the cache memory. Okay, in this type of mode, cache memory works, but all functional units are in stop condition. Okay, in nap mode, this functional unit as well as the cache memory unit, these both are in stop mode. These both are in stop condition, and if these are in stop condition, so the power will be low. And in the last mode is the sleep mode. In the sleep mode, entire processor clock may be halted on, and only a interrupt signal is required to activate the processor again. Okay, now along with this there are the several processor along with this there are the several processor also, in which some different modes are given for the purpose of power management. Okay, so in this Power PC603 processor, the sleep mode requires less than 10 system clock to resume the operation. Okay, when it is when if the system clock and PLL are not in the off condition. Why this PLL circuit required? PLL circuit is required for matching the phase of input. Okay, so this is mounted inside the circuitry for the clock synchronization. Okay, now if this PLL circuit and clock circuit, both circuit is in off condition. Okay, so the chip not consume the dynamic power. At that time the dynamic power is very less, but to wake up to wake up the circuit again, it requires some small interval of time. It is approx 100 microsecond. After 100 microsecond, the circuit 100 microsecond time required for the circuit to wake up again. Okay, so along with this some various modes are also implemented inside the processor, such as no power management, dynamic power management, sleep without PL, sleep without system clocks. These are various modes that is mounted inside the Motorola Power PC603 processor. Okay, so I hope all of you understand this topic.